Hello and welcome. I'm feeling particularly idiomatic today. So what does that mean? Well, idioms are expressions that we use in all languages that have particular meanings, but they're quite difficult to understand. But for the IELTS, it's particularly interesting because if you can use idioms correctly, you could get a band score 9 in lexical resource in your speaking. Now that's pretty exciting, so let's talk about that today. So my name's Phil and you're watching the IELTS Grind. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, give us a like, and of course if you have any questions at any time, leave us a comment. So let's talk about idioms. I'm going to give you 6 idioms today and they're all to do with emotions, how you feel. Now the reason that I'm talking about emotions and idioms to do with emotions is that you can always guarantee in the IELTS exam that you can talk about how you feel about things. Everything else, you don't know what the topic's going to be about until you get into the examination room, but you can always talk about your emotions. So I'm going to tell you a little story about one of my teachers from school, Mr. Smith, who taught me history, and I've got 6 idioms in the story. Can you listen and write them down? And then we're going to talk about what they mean. Okay, so this is a story. So Mr. Smith was not the sort of man who would wear his heart on his sleeve. However, you could always tell when you were getting on his nerves. Despite the fact that he was a little bit of a cold character, I knew that when I was coming apart of the seams and I needed to get something off my chest, I could always go and talk to him, because deep down he was a very kind man. Now, he didn't always give the best advice. However, I knew that his heart was in the right place. Okay, so did you hear those 6 idioms? So the first one that I used is to wear your heart on your sleeve. So this is either true or it's not true. It's like a personality trait. What it means is, if you're a person who wears your heart on your sleeve, you show your emotions to other people very easily. They can tell if you're happy, if you're sad. You wouldn't be the sort of person that would keep your emotions bottled up inside you, to bottle up your feelings. That's another idiom. So this is very much for a person who always expresses their emotions freely. So in my story, Mr. Smith was not a person like that. I also gave you the idiom to get on somebody's nerves, to get on my nerves, to get on your nerves. So if you get on someone's nerves, it means that you frustrate them, you irritate them, that they don't find you a very easy person to deal with or to talk to. So you can imagine teachers with their students, sometimes they can get on their nerves. I also use the idiom to come apart at the seams. Now, a seam is like on my shirt, where the sleeve joins the top part of the shirt. This is called a seam here. So if you're coming apart at the seams, it's almost like you're falling apart, you're breaking apart. And this is to describe a very emotional time in your life where you feel like you can't operate normally, or things are very difficult for you. You've got a lot of obstacles that you need to overcome. This is an expression for this type of situation. Then I use the idiom to get something off my chest. If you get something off your chest, it means as if your problems are a weight that are on your chest, and they're keeping you down, they're making it difficult to live your life. So to get it off your chest means to express that emotion, to tell someone your problems, just to talk about what's happening and how to deal with it. So to get something off your chest. This is one that we use quite a lot in English, so it's quite a useful idiom to know. Then I use the expression deep down. So when we're talking about emotions, deep down means the type of person that you are inside, the person that you really are, opposed to the outside persona or appearance that you show to other people. So sometimes in life we have to appear strong, cold, and maybe not very emotional, but inside we're actually very happy, nice people. And that's when we would use this expression, deep down. So deep down, I knew he was a good person. Deep down, he's not a very nice person. Deep down, they just want to be loved. This is kind of how we use that expression, deep down. Of course, we can use it in other ways, but today we're talking about emotions. And the last one I used is to have your heart in the right place. To have your heart in the right place. So this one means when you as a person try and do things for good reasons, but sometimes the effect can be negative or not the outcome that you are hoping for. Let me give you an example. Imagine an old lady makes you a cake for your birthday, but unfortunately she's used ingredients that are a little bit old, they've been in her cupboard for a while, and the cake doesn't taste very good. So the outcome was bad, but she did the action for a good reason, because she wanted to celebrate your birthday and to give you a gift. So that's when we would use to have your heart in the right place. Doing good things for good reasons, but it doesn't always turn out well. So Mr. Smith was not the sort of man who would wear his heart on his sleeve. However, you could always tell when you were getting on his nerves. Despite the fact that he was a little bit of a cold character, I knew that when I was coming apart at the seams and I needed to get something off my chest, I could always go and talk to him, because deep down he was a very kind man. Now, he didn't always give the best advice. However, I knew that his heart was in the right place. Okay, so those were the idioms for today. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and keep learning idioms. So what is your favourite idiom? What have you learnt recently? Leave us a comment and we can talk about that and share that with others. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, keep going. Studying for the IELTS can be difficult, but we are here to support you. So thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.